But
I broke you and Jess up because I was jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just envious. I was like, man.
Can you tell the story from your side? How did he break you up? Have you guys ever been responsible?
No.
For
Just in general. No responsibility.
Traditionally, no.
Let me
I don't feel
die.
responsible right now.
have you ever caused someone else's breakup?
Oh. Breakup?
Yeah, I don't know.
I bet you did.
Let me think.
I'm the closest, cool, because me and Nikki were involved with the whole Colleen and Josh thing big time.
Oh yeah.
So we get a lot of,
Colleen
you know,
Ballinger.
The Ballinger.
yeah, a lot of that.
How like percentage wise do you think you were responsible for?
I think probably 115%.
Because you guys were the first ones.
You're quite involved.
Yeah.
You guys were the first ones to tell him, like, hey, this is being said about you.
Yeah. And it was mainly Nikki, shots Nikki.
Run through that again.
Was there a little denial at first?
Oh yeah. So shots Nikki was, well, not shots, she doesn't do shots, but she was doing like wine or whatever, and she was like, and me and him already had a weird time because I was shitting on him pretty big time a lot, because he was such a fucking weirdo.
Colleen's husband.
Once him and Colleen started blowing up or whatever, he turned into such a fucking weirdo. But he wasn't a bad guy. He was just like a clout guy for a time. It was not who he is at all, and I knew that. And so I just like, you're fucking weird now. Because I knew him before he was anything, because obviously I only value people who become popular. But no, he was like working at one of the big MCNs, and he was just a regular dude, and I loved that about him. So then, you know, Colleen starts blowing up, and then he's like run off, getting like, you know, a runoff amount.
By the way, guys, we're not talking about our Colleen.
No, I'm not talking about Colleen.
No, we're talking about
Colleen Ballinger.
Yeah. But then, it got out of hand, right? And then their marriage, you know, was never what it should have been, according to him and like his ideals for love. And so then it just got really fucking weird because every time he left the room, she would shit on him instantly, start talking shit on him like big time.
Damn, that's crazy.
And just like completely clowning on him. And I was like, this is fucked up as hell. And then like comedy brain of me was like, oh, some of this is pretty funny, but it was fucked up. Right? Ultimately, like on the whole, it was fucked up. So then, yeah, one day me and him had a falling out because I was at VidCon pretending to be him, basically. I was going around to people during one of the VidCon parties while all these tubers are there, and I was going like this, hey, what's up? We fucking like this video and shit like that. And he fucking couldn't handle it. He was like...
So he unironically would behave like that?
Yeah.
Wow.
But he just didn't know who he was at the time, and that's all it was. It's not like he's a bad person or anything. He's a really good dude, and I really mean that. But he was being cringy, and he knows that now. But I was making fun of him. I was satirically making fun of him also in my Instagram pictures where I was like doing my fucking...
Face filters?
Face filters and shit, because he was one of the people doing that. Many people were doing it. He was one of the main people doing it. So then it became like a whole fucking thing like that. And then, we had a falling out because of VidCon where I was basically just direct across the bow shots, like boom, 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 with everybody. Because I was ultimately mad at him because he became not himself at all. But also, we had a coming together about a year and a half later when we were at Playlist in Florida. When I saw him, he was already not doing, you know, his marriage wasn't kicking ass or whatever.
But they're still together.
They were still together. And then me and him saw each other real quickly on the floor, and then it was like, hey, we should reconnect. Yeah, we should. I'll meet you over here. And then we went there, and Nikki had like a glass of wine. All it takes is bitch is like this much. And then she just started unloading. She's like, hey, do you know that every time you leave the fucking room, your wife like starts shitting all over your fucking head and like treats you like you're a little bitch and stuff? And like,
that's a tough pill to swallow.
It was tough, and I have to say, the way I'm saying it is not how Nikki put it.
Yeah, but it's funnier.
She was more sensitive, but I'm putting it in a more fun way. But yeah, she was very sensitive, very cool, but she was very honest. And ultimately, then we started talking about how like, yeah, it's fucked up because he wasn't living the dream life anymore, folks. It's not like we were breaking up a marriage that was like so successful and awesome. It was more like, hey, here's the truth about what's going on. Because otherwise, I would say the fuck out of this whole.
But what's wrong with telling him like, hey, dude, she's talking so much fucking shit, and I don't like it.
Because
But why is that wrong?
Because I had a buddy who was cheating on his wife, and I was there for it, and I thought it was jokes until he was actually doing it. I've talked about this before. But you don't want to like step in when she's happy and he's happy. You don't want to step in.
That's different though. That's like a different version of guide code. It's not morally right. It's like it just impedes on your morality of guide code when it's not your technical business.
Agreed. And I don't want to ever do that because it's ultimately just turn the chick against you.
100%, which puts you in a weird position. Therefore, it is complicated.
But I will say this: Colleen never liked it when me and Josh hung out because I always gave Josh confidence, and he's why I know that because he told me that. Because I would be like, yo, dude, like, you're a good dude. Like, I don't understand why, like, you just take it and take it and take it.
Sounds like a narcissist that had control of somebody and didn't want other people to influence.
And I think that's what ultimately happened. But, and dude, it's so easy to villainize her, too, and just go, she's so shitty, so mean, so shitty. I don't know her anymore. I'm just talking about who she was. Maybe she fucking is, like, a fucking priest, for all I know. But that's not good for little boys. No. But.
Female priest, never heard of that.
Not good for little boys. But. Maybe she is. Maybe she's good. I don't know. But I'm just saying the person that I knew was that way. Did I enjoy her at first? Yes. But there became a time where it was like, man, like this is weird because I like vouched for her, but I vouched for him, and like she shouldn't shit on him. This is actually crazy. And even though I was shitting on him at the time too, because I was like, you're fucking weird now. I was like, this is kind of crazy coming from the wife.
Yeah.
To answer your question.
115%.
And then so after you told him that, he was like, she does? Like he didn't know?
It really fell apart really quickly after that, yeah. It was like 2 months and they were done.
He didn't know, but he didn't know that
He didn't know. Nobody would tell him, and
Well, I'm
that's
sure
the thing
then
too.
it brings into
So-
question all there's other
And
shit.
yeah, he was doing tuber videos with all these tuber scum too, and none of these tuber scum were telling him.
But they all know and they all talk shit behind his back when she's around.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Talk
And
about great friends.
There was a moment too where they were on their honeymoon, and a tuber was like, "Hey," or no, she reached out to a tuber and was like, "Hey, like, I feel the same way as you," and it was about something that I can't talk about, but it was fucked up to say on your fucking honeymoon to say that shit. That's actually banana balls to say, and I know that happened. And so then it's just like, dude, you are so scummy. It's actually maybe insane, allegedly.
Who? The lady one?
The lady.
Oh. That's scum.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Just to protect ourselves.
Man, I don't know why people are so scummy.
Dude.
Sometimes I want to invite them to a cruise so I could kick them off the ship. Allegedly.
My problem.
Chances are they won't find him.
My problem with Josh is that I was straight up with him. Because I never, ever pretended to be anything else than who I am around him. And he was uncomfortable with that for a while. But now, me and him are great. Because it all just happened the way it happened. So yeah, it was probably 150, 125%.
It went up.
Well, I think you did the right thing because it was out of like some people tear relationships because it's motivated from jealousy
Yes.
or envy
Yes.
or just pure entertainment.
Yes.
But it seemed like
It was out of love.
you're like it's gonna hurt you. But
I broke
think
you and Jess up because I was jealous.
Yeah,
But I-
that was a different one.
I broke Josh and Colleen up because it was out of love.
Yes. My situation, he just envious of.
Yeah, I was just
the
envious.
joy
I
that
was like,
had.
man.
He wanted to
God.
fuck you so bad.
Yeah.
How did that work?
He wanted him for himself. I was the only one giving him that much attention, so he wanted me for himself.
Can you tell the story from your side? How did he break you up?
Or tell it from Jess's side.
I mean, he literally broke up in my living room, so I think I own it.
That's yours.
How
it's
did,
mine.
how did he break you guys up?
He didn't break us up. No, he didn't break us up.
Well, that's what shitheads were saying, so that's fine.
Are you speaking from his side or your side?
Ultimately, we helped guide along me and Nikki.
I think there was a lot of gray area that we couldn't figure out as a couple, and we just needed a third party to kind of like see the situation and tell us.
the real shit.
Yeah, it's like we kept like a bouncing ball that couldn't have a direction.
So were they kind of like the final helping catalyst to?
Well, yeah, I think it helped that another party that actually cared about us had some genuine like, and it came from a place of love. Like it came from a place of like, I care about you guys, but I also want you guys to like make a goddamn decision. We're all on the sidelines waiting. Like, what are you guys doing? And I'm like, yeah, I feel the same way. I'm fucking confused, man. And then so I think it was like, you know, it took some time to kind of give the whole context so they understood too, and then we were just like, oh good, like it actually felt right to do that. Yeah.
I've never seen. By the way, I've never seen you more mature ever. Honestly, that is such an no. But think about the pressure of that moment. Joe took it so well, like when it was like, hey, we're done, and Joe was like so immediately pragmatic about what the next steps were. He wasn't like, woe is me, or like bitch boy about it. And I really don't. I'm not saying that like, oh, he couldn't cry in front of me or nothing. You just really took it really like a man, like honestly.
If you are a normal human being, you probably have the same issues that a lot of other people deal with when it comes to their finances. You subscribe in the middle of the night to this thing or this app or whatever it is, and you're like, I don't know what's happening every month. I'm blowing all this money and I even forgot what this membership is for. I don't know what this is for. Well, guess what? Rocket Money is here to help you out. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved over a total of $500 million and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's features. Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/off-the-record. That's rocketmoney.com/off-the-record. rocketmoney.com/off-the-record. Well, I think the biggest pain that I was dragging on is the lack of clarity. Of like, I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I didn't know what she wanted to do. We couldn't come to an agreement of anything.
Yeah.
So having a direction of, even though it's the unfortunate direction, that was still a sign of relief. It felt like purgatory. Where it was like, I'm not going to heaven or hell. Yeah.
Not unfortunate in retrospect, though.
No,
That's how life is.
No,
It's complexity and it's poetry, right?
It ended up working out really great.
Yeah.
But in the moment, I think it's like when you're in the game, you can't see the game. So sometimes you need a coach to kind of like help you with a game plan.
Sometimes you don't even need a coach. You need a soundboard.
You need,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think I was 1% directly involved with one of my close friends, one of my brothers, my crewmates' breakups.
1%.
1%'s pretty high.
1%, but that's the thing.
I'm gonna listen to this with full attention.
That's the straw that broke the camel's back. So maybe that is.
I
what
was
broke the
attentive
man.
and quiet during your whole bullshit story, okay? So
That's real shit. That's my real shit.
But he was 115%. You said yours 1%.
yeah, because you need the other spectrum of conversation because there's a lot of people that will relate to my story, not 115%.
Yeah, what? Because they're Asian too.
You're a racist and a scumbag, KKK.
Yeah, good.
That being said, you gotta understand that 1% is also important because it's like the fucking whole analogy about like a bucket of water that spills off of one more drop, right? That concept comes in the same way that sometimes you just need a soundboard. I wasn't responsible, but I remember
think you're
there was
responsible.
one very, very important moment in the entire relationship that one of my close friends, we had a very deep conversation on a plane ride from Europe back to the US. That was it. It was like he'd been going through all his shit already. I wasn't a part of his relationship, but I was a part of the last conversation on this very pivotal and maybe at a sensitive time in the relationship plane ride. And then right when he got back home from that plane ride, it was time to make that decision. And sometimes you just need a soundboard from somebody who is not involved in your shit to feel emotionally not attached, therefore maybe potentially more rational.
Good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Was he? Did he cry a little bit on the during the talk?
We bonded deeply.
Yeah,
We bonded very, very deeply.
You get a little more emotional.
It's crazy because in a public place, like an airplane, it's such a private experience when you're sitting next to that person for 14 hours.
Bring us into the
Oh,
conversation.
good.
What
I thought
happened?
you had a middle guy in the.
What happened? Bring it over each other. Bring us in the combo.
He's been with this chick for like over like 6 years. And he just felt like it was like, you know when you don't want to break with somebody because you feel bad?
Stagnant.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like you don't want to hurt their feelings, and that's such a complex thing because it's so normal. Yeah. You're so close. This person's such a close friend,
And there's nothing wrong with it.
yeah.
I see.
But you can't look towards the future with an excitement of growth and something that supports things that you value to a core level especially as a more evolved human, because the things that you appreciate in your early 20s are not the things that are your goals in your late 20s.
So how did you say it?
You should fucking.
How are you like, this isn't sexy?
The different things is I wasn't a close friend to that girl, so it wasn't difficult for me to be like, from what you're saying, it doesn't sound like she's the right person for you long term. Yes. But like, I can understand if you like grew up together, you could easily take the side of that person as a peer. Yes. But because I wasn't like a close friend, it was easy for me to not have an emotional bias towards her. It was very fucking easy for me to be like, well, based off what you're saying, I don't have the weight of your 6-year relationship, so it's easy for me to be like, I don't know if she's the right person for you.
Yeah.
I would have blamed the victim. Yeah. I'm like, why are you being a little bitch?
So like, again, I don't think I was influential in the relationship. I think I was like the last drop in a giant bucket. And then he went home and that happened. And that's an important thing to represent, because like, if you're just a soundboard, not even like an influencer and a closest friend ever, you just happen to be there at the right time so somebody could like bounce rational ideas off of, like that can be very impactful.
Yeah, did you know like almost 30 or 40% of people don't have inner fucking dialogue in their head?
Is that right?
Yeah. So that's why some people need to say it out loud.
30 to 40%?
Yeah.
It's pretty high, yeah.
People don't have that inner thought and conversation.
You need to talk shit out sometimes, because even when you have an idea and you have conviction on that, when you say it out loud, sometimes you change your mind because of how crazy that sounds.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a smart, but that's a really reasonable way of doing things.
So my 1% matter, bitch.
That sounds like 300 kick to me, like full responsibility.
300?
He was looking 6-hour plane ride? Come on, man.
That's a lot of influence.
Here's the question that will determine if you hadn't had that conversation with them, do you think they would still be together today?
I think it would have taken longer for the same result to happen.
Yeah, I think that too. Ultimately, me and Josh too.
Yeah. So you 300 kicked them.
That means more. That also means more pain, turmoil, a lot more complication.
Okay. I think.
And loss of opportunity. Because you never know what's right around the corner that you might have missed.
Yeah, and by the way, it's not like the dude that I knew was so fucking happy. It's like, dude, he was a misery fest.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like it helped, and so was Joe.
Yeah.
Ultimately,
You a misery fest?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that's 300 Sparta kick, because sometimes people are at the edge of the well, and you just need your homie to kick you in the goddamn chest.
Jump in.
Oh, him and Nikki stood up and kicked both of us into the into different wells.
They held you underwater a little bit.
They were on the other side. Jess was here, I was here, and they kicked us, and we fucking went like that.
Both of you are happier now, and that's what we said would happen. Because ultimately you guys found the right people for you, and
that's the beauty of the fear, because you don't look at that well, that hole, that black fucking cesspool of like uncertainty, and you go like guaranteed rainbows and butterfly on the other side. That's not how life works.
You never know what's on the other side.
So it's just fear.
Yeah.
But you know if you survive it, you're gonna be fucking fine. So your friend just needs to kick your ass in.
Sometimes crabs in a bucket tell you that relationships equal misery. Yeah. And that's how it should be. And that's I think that was happening too with you guys, where it's like, oh well, relationships are just kind of suffering, so you have to just get used to this shit. It's like, dude, I used to be that person. It's not that way. It's not that way.
I remember when I was in one of my last long-term relationships. The thing that I hated the most, especially when I was in my paradox of like, it wasn't so clearly this wasn't gonna work, but it was just like, there were things that I would consistently internal dialogue complain about, is when a happy couple would be around me, like a close friend who was, and then they would just be like, relationships shouldn't be that hard work. And you're sitting there working your ass off fucking hard and not wanting to cross that line and just being like, okay, yeah, I agree. They shouldn't be that hard. It still takes you months to come around.
And I would have never known if I hadn't been through it too. The hard shit, where it's like, damn, my life fucking basically blows fucking chunks.
There's nothing compared to.
Right. And then being with Nikki, where it's like, man, my life is fucking easymode.com, .org, .gov, fucking US, .edu. I'm so happy. And I've never not been. And like, me and Nikki are Gucci as motherfucking fuck. And it's because we have the same love language, we have the same morals, we have the same like way we look at life.
No, she said it's on the rocks, dude.
Did she tell you that? Just tell you that.
I'm about to Sparta kick Nikki into
Tell me over here.
Something about too many pills.
Wait to be Nikki's 1%, dude.
Oh, I know you will. I know you will. But guess what, dude? I'll take your chick. I'll take your chick back. I'll take your. And then it's anal only.
Anthony, don't do it.
Anthony's like, I'm so jealous of that relationship. I'm gonna fuck them up.
Is Jess is with like a different, cooler dude now?
Probably.
Way cooler.
Yeah, way cooler.
He's so chill.
He's jealous.
Yeah. I can't wait to break that one up.
He dabs you up like this. He's like,
Oh, they have a secret handshake. Oh.
Man, that kind of hurt my
Oh.
that's me and Justin.
He's
That's me and
freezing.
Justin's dog. Yeah. He knows.
They have that white conspiracy connection going on, you know?
We think Nikola Tesla got off because he had energy ideas.
Conspiracy connection. Damn.
Free energy, by the way.
Well, it's good to hear 115% and a 1%. Yeah.
0% over here. I've never done that shit ever. I do.
Ever?
For real?
Yeah,
With none of your boys?
You're not really.
Bullshit. Honestly, you look like you get under people's fingernails about that shit.
Honestly, I'll be like, bro, it's on you, dude. You got to suffer because relationships are about suffering.
Nick judges from afar.
If you're not willing to put that hard work in, dude, you're a fucking pussy.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
Relationship is like 0% thumb getting crushed on your head every morning you wake up.
It's just a slow, deafening pressure, and then all of a sudden you have tinnitus, dude, and then you gotta go to the doctor.
Dude, how did Al Bunny get so pissed about that? She could have shit in my fucking face.
I know.
She's so hot.
Peggy Bundy?
Peggy Bundy every
fucking
day.
the trash.
Because he was looking at his daughter.
You think?
Whoa.
So was I. I was 8 years old though. What's his
Whoa.
8 years old. What's his excuse?
Weird twist.
I didn't like Christina Applegate as much as her friends. Whenever she brought her
Well,
whole
that's fair.
friends,
Her boyfriends?
her whole friends were.
But her friends didn't live with
Way hotter, way cuter.
Her boyfriend was so good.
So stupid.